No, the bass guitar thing came, I mean, in the sort of post-punk new wave era, and we couldn't afford to buy synthesizers. They were, you had to be a millionaire rock star to buy equipment like that. You had, if you were Tangerine Dream or Pink Floyd or someone, and you had loads and loads of money. But punk and the new wave thing came along and said, really, you don't have to have flashy, expensive equipment. And not being able to afford synthesizers, we had electric guitars and cheap electric guitars and a cheap electric organ. But if you took guitars and something like that, and we had a lot of guitar foot pedals, flanges and phasers and echo units, mostly tape echo units or analog echo units, and you put all these guitars and electric organ through those. This was our idea of a synthesizer, because 6 strings on a guitar is 6 oscillators, and you put them through a lot of foot pedals, and you string all the foot pedals together in series and switch them on and off. You can be chopping and changing sounds like crazy, and that was in lieu of not being able to afford synthesizers. But the bass thing comes from, we didn't have a drummer, so there was nothing to put the beat down, but if you played the low strings on an electric guitar with some sort of echo thing, like a Wem copycat or whatever, and it made these repeats, and you played with the repeats, you've made up rhythms like that, which were very, very steady and stable, because it was a loop going around tape heads, so it was very, very steady, and if you played in time with it, you had some nice rhythms going. And I seemed to be the only person involved in it who was prepared to take on that role, so that's where it comes from. That's where playing bass parts comes from. There were some songs like Mirror Man and Fascination where we used bass guitar. I think with Mirror Man we've been trying to get a bass sound that fitted with a song which had a kind of Motown feel to it, and couldn't get the sound. And just to keep things going, I think somebody said, well, let's just put a bass guitar on it for now. So got a bass guitar on. Our producer engineer set the controls up on to get the right sort of sound, put it in record, and I played it, and it ended up being left on the record. And then Fascination was one where we recorded a riff as a sample and looped that. But there's a lot of, I get asked about this because with the bass guitar, because you turn up at television studios and your own equipment is off, you're on tour, and it's your equipment is being set up somewhere, or it's in the back of a truck, and the TV studio's got, a few bits of equipment for you to use. And they used to give me keyboard stands that were about this high. I'm 6'2", and they give me a keyboard stand about that high, and I just refused to do it, really. Just I'm not just stand there like Basil Fawlty playing like that. So I'd asked them to go and get me a guitar, bass guitar. So it was all to do with pose, posture, trying not to look uncool, although that was difficult under any circumstance. Well, I've said this sort of like post-punk new wave thing where we couldn't afford synthesizers, so we had a couple of cheap electric guitars. We had a band in Sheffield called Graph, and there was no drummer. We couldn't afford the synthesizers, but we used all these foot pedals and stuff to put electric guitars and electronic organs through them. I mean, that's the thing about the Human League, is I think we always regarded ourselves as amateurs, really, first and foremost, rather than clever professional musicians. I think none of us would have been able to go out and get session work or anything like that, I don't think.